thank you for joining us again in our show, Diaspora Life Show. Today, we conclude our series on Born in Kenya, Raised in the USA, the burdens of an identity crisis. So that's the relationship in school amongst your peers and your teachers. But how is the relationship between you guys and Kenyan parents like me? I'm saying this because my sons are always telling me, Daddy, you're too Kenyan. What does it mean when I'm told that I'm too Kenyan?
Yeah, my mom is too Kenyan too. but with time, she has done some changes. When we first came here, it was so hard for her to see us be so free, especially being a girl child, me and my sister. Punishing us, she had to stop that. We are growing up. And things like cell phones, that was a huge deal for my mom, giving me a cell phone at Form 3. Yeah. That was huge. And the first time she gave us that, we started doing not so good things, and she had to take them out from us. We became so rebellious. And we actually hated the mom from Kenya. We wanted her to be so American, to allow us to do all these things, to dress however we want. But our parents being Kenyan, I think it's very important. Somehow they teach us how to hold on to our values from back home, and that's why our life have shaped differently. We come here and we are so focused on what we want to do. Anybody else?
Yeah, my parents are very Kenyan. But you know, coming from Kenya to America, it's such a great culture shock and a shift, because they're so used to a certain culture of, you know, raising up disciplined kids. You know, life is hard too in Kenya, money-wise as well. So that also kind of like affects the relationship between you and your parent. And then, you know, when coming here, parents are so, like American parents are so free with their children. They have that relationship. And so, you know, I've seen a change in my parents. I can say a little bit, they're getting there. You know, they've lived in Kenya all their life. So, you know, I gotta be graceful to them in that way. So it has been quite a challenging thing, adjusting, especially when you were new. You know, kids here work when they're 16 years old. You know, in Kenya, you know, it's different. You don't get employed when you're 16. You have to like go through college. You have to go through at least, you know, school in a way. So that can also affect the relationship, trying to like them allowing you to be what they're not used to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yes. As it has said, even my parents are Kenyan too. Yeah. But one thing I've actually realized is because the norms that we are used to back home and how they raise the children back home, even the discipline itself, it was different. And here they find a country where there's rules that you cannot hit your child because they'll call a cop on you. Yeah. So that, and also for us as the children, we are going to school. So we are learning the American style of life. And we see, okay, I can say this, I have my opinions. Well, in Kenya, even talking back to your parent, it's a taboo.
Almost about, I think, maybe 4 months ago, we lost one of our young people here in St. Louis, the girl who killed herself. Why do you think, I know you don't know what happened, but why do you think a young person like you will just wake up one day and say, I've had enough, I want to take my life? And anybody can speak to that.
Well, as you know, as America being a land of opportunities, it also comes with its own difficulties. In America right now, especially in our city right now, we are facing so many difficult times, especially as youth, when it comes to drugs. And I'm not saying that's for her, but I'm just saying, and when it comes to those things, there's also peer pressure. Yeah. And also some of the things that even it's hard to talk to their parents. And when it comes harder for kids to talk to their parents, they hold those things. and they don't know how to go to find help. And also that's something I also find difficult with our Kenyan community. Even if there's a mental illness happening, we don't advocate for that. Right. There's no advocacy for people reaching out for help. And so that's something that is challenging. There's no much of help among the community. Yes, the American people, they have those outlets. You can find a group, you can maybe a counseling through school, but as a community, we are lacking on that one. And I would think that's one of the major problems.
That's right.
I would say maybe a misunderstanding with the parents and their kids. I came by myself, I did not come with my parents, so just for me thinking of you as a parent trying to understand your child, I think it's only fair to give children an opportunity to live their own life. Because sometimes it's easy for you as a parent to want a child to live a life that you want them to. Yeah. But you're creating a life for them and not giving them an opportunity to create a life for themselves. And sometimes I think that the parents want their kids to achieve what they did not achieve. So you're pushing them to do this, to go to school, to do this certain degree, to be a doctor, to be an engineer, because that's a thing that's, but then your child has something else different. So if you're only pushing and not listening to what they have to say, it becomes a problem. Because first of all, if you're a parent and not just not a friend to your child, then that child is going to find something else that is different. Find your peers, or you go out there, and if you're going to talk to other people other than your parent, then there are other options they're going to give you.
That's right.
So I think it's good for the parents to have an understanding. Sit down with your child and get to know, okay, this is where I am, this is where you are, how can I help you, how can we help each other? Other than just the parent's opinion, it's good to hear the child's opinion and why they want to do what they're doing.
That's right. Anybody else?
Okay, I didn't come here with my parents either, but growing up as a young person here, I understood that sometimes we go through a lot of pressure, both from school, trying to figure ourselves out. I came here when I was 20 years old, so still in that age of trying to figure your career path, trying to figure your identity, your role in the society. So internally, you are undergoing a lot of pressure, still trying to adjust in a foreign country. And in most cases, you don't have the right support system. So I think a solution to that would be, having a good, and also as young people, we have the responsibility to seek help when we need it. But at the same time, we want to ask help from non-judgmental sources. I don't want to be judged when I go ask for help.
Yes, right.
I want somebody to understand where I'm coming from and just try to walk me through it. And those resources can be hard to find here, especially being new to the country or just being around a society that does not exactly understand where you're coming from.
Awesome, awesome. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sister.
This is a very sensitive issue, but first of all, I want to say suicide does not kill. Bullying kill, depression kill, being ignored kill, hatred, all such things.
That's right.
And before somebody gets to that point of wanting to end their life or ending it, there are always signs out there.
Yeah.
And there are people there who knows they're there, they just ignore them. They're there because those people, you just don't wake up one day. It takes time to plan, to think of it. And if I'm not comfortable talking to you about it, and if I talk to you about it and all you want to do is condemn me, because that's what they do. Yeah. Hey, I grew up in Kenya, we didn't have food. You have everything here in America, what's wrong with you? That's what people do. And they bully you a lot. I've been bullied before, so I know that. And every time suicide come up, I do not like it. So, sorry that we lost a gift, but suicide does not kill. The society does.
That's
and it has
true.
To change.
That's very true. That's coming from a young person like that. It's quite refreshing, and it's touching. It's hard as it is, but these are some of the things that we have to talk about. And I just hope that young people can be free, like you guys, to express yourself, because, like you say, suicide doesn't kill. It's everything that happens before that. So before we wind up, I have some questions from the audience. The first question is, what keeps you going, you guys? Starting from here.
Well, for me, the number one thing that keeps me going is God, knowing that I have Him on my side. And like for me right now, everything that I do is coming from God's direction. Because there was time where I didn't follow God, and even the career that I did, the schooling, it was through God's direction, and I won't regret it, because for me, that makes my heart feel so much joy to knowing I followed the right thing because I'm following God, so I'll say God.
Amen to that. Mariah?
Okay, I think I have different things that keeps me going. First of all, I have a very good support system, my parents, who believe in me. So anytime I feel like I'm losing track of all direction, I'll give them a call and they give me the purpose to what I'm doing.
The first one is God for me, because I know that's the closest help I have, no matter what it is. And positive people like these ones, to have these people who are always there for you. I think having a positive-minded people will keep you motivated and want to keep going and make a difference.
Great. Umbi?
Yes, is my biggest and greatest support that I have that keeps me going. And also knowing that it's also a blessing to be here, because I know there's so many people who would desire to come to America, and that's not limited, but it's not limited to the fact that they are in Kenya, but it's me realizing that it's God's blessing to have me here also reminds me that I'm here for a purpose too, and there's a reason, and it's also a blessing, so I'm going to enjoy it. It's going to drive me. And also having friends who are around you, and knowing that even when I'm going through issues, I'm not alone. They also go through issues, so we become like a family that we go through issues together. Together, you're not alone, so you can make it through.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My sis?
Yes, God first, and then my family. My family keep me going. And also, I have a few friends who stand by me all the time when I need them. And I'm so thankful for that. That keep me going.
The next question is, how much do you miss Kenya? Keep going. Yeah.
I don't want to answer. I've been back 6 times. And I still miss it. I just came back not too long ago. Yes, I miss it. I love Kenya. I work with girls there who've been sexually abused. I visit them, and I work with kids, and I love them. I love those girls. I love those kids, and they're my everything. Yes, and they're in Kenya, and that's where my heart is.
Awesome.
Yes.
My name is Chris Wamalwa, and this has been Diaspora Life. I've been speaking to young people here in St. Louis at Emmanuel Worship Center, and we'll be back. This panel is very interesting, and this is just the first part. We'll be back next month to pick up from where we left on this same discussion. We do this because these are issues that affect young people, especially here in the diaspora. I'll see you again next week. Please, let's have a clap for our panel today. We feature the second part of my discussion with the youth born in Kenya, raised in the USA, in St. Louis, Missouri, and the experiences at home with their parents. Welcome. Remember, you can access this episode and our past episodes if you go to Standard Digital Videos and Standard Digital YouTube channels. See you next week.